Fantastic tea. Average sort of all right tea. Cat's pee tea. Oh, tweet, tweet, tweet. Hello.
Leo.
Oh, hello, Alice.
It's Jane's birthday today. Had you forgotten?
Oh, God, I felt there was something.
Oh, well, never mind. You can make up for it tonight. She's coming to see us.
Us?
You and I. Her parents. On her birthday.
Oh, shut up, bird.
It's no use taking it out on the canary, Leo. He can hardly be blamed for the mishandling of your life.
Well, I've been rather tied up at the hospital this week, and I had hoped to spend an evening with, Liz.
I'm talking about your daughter, Leo. Our younger daughter. I don't mind you abandoning me, but not her. Not one of the few good things that came out of all those years.
All right, all right. All right. All right. Liz? Did you get the milk? You left it in the car. You forgot. She forgot.
Killed a bird.
Oh. Any biscuits?
On the high street.
I shall consult the biscuit barrel. No biscuits. Welcome to an unembellished tea and invisible biscuits break.
It had a moth in its beak.
So you killed a bird and saved a moth. How precise nature is. Oh, come on, there are millions of birds.
You don't have to tell me that. I know how many birds there are.
It doesn't help.
Hello. Yeah, just a minute. It's Shirley. Are you lunching with her today?
Nobody cares about the bird.
Yes, she's lunching with you today. Fine, usual place, I'll tell her. Bye. Usual place. Sometime today, the man I spend all night operating on will probably die.
You didn't kill him, did you?
And what I'm trying to point out is that one can hardly grieve for a bird when people are dying.
But I don't know about them, do I?
Yes, you do. I've just told you.
What I mean is I'm not involved. I don't drive around with people splattered all over my windscreen.
Oh, I see. It was the experience which upset you, not the bird's departure.
It was the thud and the feathers and the way my windscreen wipers kept going back and forth with a dead sparrow on the end.
Yes. Well, that's life, isn't it? So to speak.
Made me think. Well, aren't you going to ask me what it made me think?
Oh, yes. It's just that when I envisage the machinery in your head, clanking away, presenting your mouth with a collection of horrendous conclusions about life, what did it make you think?
It made me think how fragile life is, how easily ended. It made me think that I shouldn't sacrifice time by worrying about things. Well, aren't you going to ask me what things?
Yes, I am. What things?
Things like the fact that we haven't got any biscuits or milk. Things like the fact that you're obsessed with your work and you're only here now because you've been at the hospital all night. Things like the fact that you're too wise and too tired ever to want to marry again, and besides, you're still married to your almost ex-wife.
Oh, God.
Things like the fact that I hardly ever see you, and you're so busy performing miracles down at that operating theatre that by the time you get home, you're too tired to perform them with me. Things like the fact that I shall probably devote my entire existence to loving a man who can never totally love back. And the only plan I can possibly meditate on is precisely at what stage of my life I should kill myself.
You got all that from a dead sparrow?
Things like, I simply love you. And I love you simply. So why shouldn't simply loving someone simply be simple?
Because it isn't, and it never was.
I should have left you the way I found you. Free.
I'm glad you didn't.
You don't look 50.
Good.
You've got that just ironed look.
Not for long, I fear.
When you're asleep, you look like a boy. A sort of very experienced boy.
Liz, if I were younger, just 10 years younger.
I'd be all of 14. Here you get struck off.
I have to think things too, you know.
What things?
Things like you saying that I'm so busy performing miracles at the hospital that when I get home I'm too tired to perform them with you.
Kidding.
Things like that. There are stages in life, you see. When I was your age, every day was a continuation of the rutting season. I dragged every female I ever knew up the stairs. My bed became as busy as the GPO sorting office. If I wasn't doing it, I was thinking about doing it. And then I got married. And after a short and final burst of energy, I returned to being human. I was less voracious, more into the spiritual side of it all. And finally, not without disappointment, I discovered that sex is not the first thing in life, and not even the second, but third or fourth, after achievement and running neck and neck with steak and chips and a nice round of golf. So you see, everything is to do with time and experience. And we all have to go through each stage. All of us, including you. And that's why I think you should be with some young stud who is full of miracles.
Wouldn't you miss me? Wouldn't you be jealous? Wouldn't it matter?
Don't tell her. I'm warning you. The difference between you and the young ones is distance. Once you tell her, she's got you by the rude parts. I find it hard to say things.
Here we go again. What things?
Things you seem to want to hear.
Poor little bird. There it was, minding its own business.
Well, Mrs. Healy, we are already aware of your ill-tempered appendix. Now, this X-ray reveals that you have a small ovarian cyst. That's absolutely nothing to be frightened about. I'll have you in fairly soon and we'll operate.
You can take the lot.
Sorry?
The lot. While you're in there, take the lot.
Oh, I don't think that's necessary. You're a young, healthy woman.
I don't know why we're lumbered with it. The men should have it.
Well, it had to be somebody, didn't it?
4 I've got. 4.
Yes, well, you ladies do an excellent job of preserving the human race.
I don't know about preserving it. By the time I'm 45, I'll have replaced it.
Have you considered going on the pill?
Oh, no, I'm not having the scientist bossing my body about. It's bad enough having you going in there and doing your own thing. I mean, I don't know, do I? I don't know what you'll be up to. You could be doing vivisection for all I know.
I assure you, Mrs. Healy, that whatever I'll be up to, my instinct as a surgeon is that it should be to your good.
Then there's all this talk about the definition of death. Some say you're dead when your brain's gone, some say it's when the heart goes. When my husband came in here for his checkup last week, he was afraid to go to sleep.
We can actually tell the difference.
I mean, he's not a light sleeper, he gets right into it. In fact, if there was an inquiry afterwards, I'm inclined to think they'd be on your side.
Yes, well, perhaps you could contact your doctor. I'll write to him.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Bannister, I will. I don't see the point in having all this reproduction gear when you don't want any more kids. It's like having a knitting machine when you hate knitting.
Isn't this the life, though? Isn't this the life? No traffic, no noise, no smoke, no men. There's
suppose it wouldn't have felt anything.
What?
A bird.
No, it wouldn't.
Seemed a funny thing for a woman to do. Fish.
Why?
It's a man's territory.
Haven't you heard? There's no such thing anymore.
That's the trouble with me. I'm not liberated. I want to do abnormal things. Like get married and have hundreds of kids and a cat and a dog. I want to cook and sew and generally waste away in the kitchen.
I did all that when I lived with Barry. Oh, he was beautiful. He should never have been walking around. He should have been standing on a block of marble in a Roman square. Anyway, after 2 years of devoted service in his kitchen, I woke up one morning and I could feel myself turning into a Brillo pad. An unmarried Brillo pad.
I feel like that sometimes. But I've made decisions. Big and sensible decisions.
Huh?
Well, aren't you going to ask me what decisions? What's the matter with everybody today?
Why should I ask you?
Because you always ask me. Because you're dying to know. Because you're my best friend and a nosy cow, that's why.
Okay. What decisions?
Well, Leo is 50.
That is a long time to be around.
Now, he does love me, I know that.
How?
Well, I just know.
You mean he came hurtling through the sky in a helicopter, wearing leather gear and clutching your favourite washing powder? I know, he washed up this morning.
There are times between two people. Times you don't talk about. When you just know.
Oh, you mean in bed? Yes, well, never ask a man if he likes the meal you've cooked when he's in the middle of eating it.
Is there anything you don't have a theory on?
Not a lot.
Anyway, Leo is a dignified man. A private man. A subtle man. Whereas I'm noisy and
Young.
and demanding. He's only half free of his wife and he'll never be free of his work. So, I've decided to acknowledge these things and live with them and not worry about them.
Supposing he never asks you to marry him?
I'll learn to like it the way it is.
It's difficult living with a man. I mean, you're not really part of his life. You're only a visitor.
That's all he needs.
And what about you?
Well,
And possessions. I mean, what about possessions? Everything is his. His flat, his furniture, his this, his that.
I pull my weight, I buy the food.
Yes, but you eat the food.
I don't want to think about those things.
So the next time you have a quarrel, he'll have a home and possessions, and you'll march out clutching a plastic bag with a pair of knickers and a tin of beans in it.
He wouldn't do that.
They all do that. They all do it. I've got one. Keith Morrison.
Who?
The fish. I dedicate them to blokes I've known. If they were nice to me, I'd throw them back.
And Keith Morrison. Was he nice to you?
Oh, yes, he was really something. When he touched me, the earth shivered. He left me for a model.
So what do you do now?
Take it home and eat it.
Mom! Mom? Mom, have you seen that Victorian teapot of mine?
There's dust everywhere. It's not the kind we had years ago. It's vindictive dust.
You know the one with the roses on it? I bought it in the market.
And my hoover's broken. It picks all the rubbish up in the bedroom and then regurgitates it in the hall.
Oh, there it is. Great. How you been then? Leo's fine.
The lavatory seat's broken again. It's your father. He keeps slamming it.
Leo gets home early tonight. It's his only real night off.
I see Doris up the road got married last week.
Saturday night's the big night. He actually switches his bleeper off on a Saturday night.
A nice young man, her husband. Bought her a house in the Wardale Road and painted it himself. course he knows what he's doing. He's in the profession. He paints Belisha beacons for the corporation.
Yeah. Must be nice for her.
They've been married a week. I expect she's pregnant by now.
I've got to go now, Mum. I'll see you soon, okay? Bye.
I suppose our mother had a new hat for the wedding.
Leo sends his love.
It's your life. Can't tell them anything.
Mr. Bannister?
I know. We did all we could.
Ah, where do you think you're going?
Mr. Bannister, Dr. Holmes would like a word with you.
You can get me at home. And oh! Fall back.
Now, there's the first artery that I've got to put a graft into.
Mr. Sapsford is using code for this stitch. It is a synthetic material widely used in surgery. It has lots
You
of
had enough to eat?
Yes. Yes, indeed.
But it is never absorbed. You'll notice that when he ties the stitch, he repeatedly ties endless numbers of knots because it tends to slip. Once this Mr. Sapsford will join the two other pieces of blade with the heart arteries. He can then warm up the heart and allow it to beat again. The veins can then be joined to the aorta as the heart's movement.
Not for me, thank you. I don't think I could go through all that again.
Whilst the heart is cold and paralyzed, it is of course starved of oxygen. Therefore, the surgeon is working as rapidly as possible. It will of course take some time, several minutes. This gives Mr. Sapsford enough time to complete the last
Had a good
joint on
day?
the underside of the heart.
Oh, the usual. And you?
Oh, I went fishing with Shirley, and then I called in to see my mother, and I bought a few things.
I'll ask you what things in a minute.
There's a good film on telly.
Yes?
It's about this compulsive surgeon who lives with this beautiful young girl. And every Saturday night they have this big romantic evening together. He watches films of operations. And she sits feeding him tea and biscuits and being sick.
I'm sorry.
As the heartbeat gradually returns,
So, what did you buy? nice, yes.
It's a musical dog.
So it is.
And I bought this. Oh, and I bought some loose covers. And I bought the teapot from home.
So that's where it came from.
I'm infiltrating, you see.
You're what?
You know, merging. Becoming part of this flat. Owning things.
Oh, I see. Is this some evil plan devised by you and your man-eating friend?
Well, Shirley says that when a marriage ends, the man eases you out of his life, gives you half his possessions and worries about you. But when a relationship ends, the man pushes you out, gives you nothing and changes the lock.
So, you buying a nude statue, a symphonic dog and a reluctant teapot is all part of your preparation for our end?
Yes.
Oh.
I don't mind.
What don't you mind?
Us. The way we are. Untethered, uncluttered, unmarried. I don't mind your work, your wife, your kids. I don't mind anything, not after the bird.
So, you won't mind me going to see Jane tonight. It's her birthday.
No,
I'll be early.
I told you. I don't mind.
Where were you, my love, 20 years ago?
Hang on a sec, Mummy. Thank you for coming, Daddy. Thank you for the cheque. Thank you for everything, really. Bye-bye, Mummy. Goodbye, darling.
Yeah, great.
Goodbye, darling. Bye. Bye.
I must go.
Is that all you can say? Is that all you can say?
No, it's not all I can say, it's all I want to say.
Doesn't it appall you seeing our daughter like that?
It's just a phase. She has to go through it.
Oh, that's so like you, isn't it? Everything's just a phase. If she came in here with a flashing light in her navel, it would be just a phase.
We can't stop the world, Alice.
It's barbaric. Did you see his hair? He looked like a demented cockerel. I know why it happened, of course. It's her home life. If she had a proper father and mother...
She has a proper father and mother.
I mean a married father and mother.
We are married.
I mean a proper married, not getting divorced father and mother.
Yes, well, we can't fashion our lives totally around our children's needs, can we? Besides, you know very well that has nothing to do with it. Jane is experimenting with life, and I've no doubt that if left alone, she will make a better job of it than we did.
Go on, walk away.
I'm not walking away. I have seen my daughter, and now it is time to go home.
This was your home once, Leo. This was where you came, once.
Alice, will you stop throwing an emotional shroud over me? I am 50 years old.
51. Nearly.
I think it fair to say that for the most part, I could have been described as a solid, reliable, conscientious husband and father. Now all I want is peace.
You got peace when you left me, Leo. And then she came. Never mind, you'll get it back when she goes.
Like a little puppy, isn't she? All warm and innocent. Don't you believe it? Here lies your original unexploded missile. And unless you spend your whole life carefully defusing her, you'll go up like a duck off a hot plate. So, what now, my friend? Liz? Liz?
What time is it?
It's only 10. I said I'd be early. Come on, Sleepy, let's go to bed.
How are things at home?
Oh, fine. Fine.
No aggravations?
None that I remember.
Good.
Liz, don't do it. You'll be sorry. After it's all over, the divorce, I mean, we'll get married. Oh, my God. Isn't that what you want?
Is that what you want?
Well, yes, it is.
Let's wait and see then.
Funny thing about you, every now and then you turn me into the child. Let's wait and see then. Come on.
Oh, you go on. I'll switch everything off. Shirley? Do you remember I told you today I wanted to be married? Yes! And have a cat and a dog and hundreds of children, and you said it would never happen. Well, guess what?